Alrighty everybody, it is time to get started on our next refine, which is our silver refine for Jerry. I took about a week off in between. I actually got the last two teeth out of the top of my freaking head. So if I talk a little funny, it's because I no longer have any upper teeth and I have to make me a new denture because my old partial won't work anymore. Anyhow, also my birthday was this past week and we got a new toy to play with. Cheryl got us a bit of a camera, not a bit of a camera, she got us a new camera to try out. So hopefully that'll improve the videos a little bit. Sorry for the air conditioner noise. It's blazing hot outside and this air conditioner is just, I mean, I've got a brand new one over in the storage trailer, and you know, 10,000 BTU unit, and I've had it for about a year and a half. My back has not allowed me to put it in, so I have to tolerate this thing until I have a good day, I guess, or a good enough day, or I can get some help to help me put it in. But anyhow, so I'm gonna figure this camera out and get things set up, and we're gonna see how this works and get Jerry's unboxing done. So we'll be back at you in just a bit. Okay guys, so here's our package from Jerry. I've had this, let's see, since February, so it's been here a long time, but everybody knows, you know, when I get a big refine to do, it takes a while to get to their stuff, and he was in no hurry anyway. But this is our contacts, and I want to show you, it is a very heavy box. So in fact, let me pause for a second, and I'm going to go grab a scale and weigh this, if it'll weigh. I'll be right back. Okay guys, this is my new little cheapo scale I got on Amazon. I think it's supposed to weigh up to 33 pounds, or 13 or 14, I don't know, whatever it is. Let's just see if it will do it. So we are looking at 4.79 kilograms. So apparently this does go up pretty high. Pounds, 10.90 pounds, so almost 11 pounds. I'm glad to see that my little scale works. I mean, I think this was like $6. I mean, and to weigh heavy stuff, it's great. Obviously so far. So let me get it out of the way. Let's get our trusty dusty letter opener, and let's see what we got. Now this is supposed to be mixed contacts. So I don't know exactly what's in here. I know he said there's some big ones, and I believe there's some more tungsten, so we're probably going to do some separating, and like I normally do, and do these in batches. All I know is, in a case like this, thank goodness for flat rate boxes, because otherwise this would have been really expensive to go, especially, you know, regular post office mail or mail. So it looks like he has already done some separating. See, these appear to be tungsten, and this looks like a great big bag of regular mixed up contacts. Now I'm seeing some bars in here. I think I tested some of these bars before, and I think some of them, I don't know what they are. They're not even silver plated. But so we're going to have to sort through this. We're going to have to check these bars. This is what I'm talking about, these guys right here. do not believe, I think that is a silver plating on them, but I do not believe that those bars are silver. They're not magnetic, which they probably wouldn't be. They'd be copper or something like that. But I'm going to have to check these out, because I do believe I have had some of these before in my hand, and they are not solid silver. I could be wrong. These maybe are, but see, this has a waffle back like a tungsten. It's a smooth back, but anyway, we're going to have to sort these out. These are possibly tungsten with just a silver plating on them, and I'm seeing quite a few of them. So anyway, I'm going to pause this video for a bit. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and sort this stuff out. I want to get a rag on it, and then I'm going to test a couple of these and see what we got here. So we will be back in just a bit. Okay guys, we have a real hodgepodge mix of material here. I believe I have tested this stuff before, this pile, and I do not believe, these are very dense. I believe that that is just tungsten. In fact, let me see if I can find another pair of pliers here right quick. And we're going to do some quick little tests that are going to help us guess what this material is, or some of it, right off the bat. So we know, like I said, I'm pretty sure I've tested these before. As long as these are, if those were silver, they would bend very easily, and they are not bending. I mean, I can bend smaller stuff at a lot less of a length. That's not, these are not bending. Okay, I am going to put them in acid and see if they are coated in silver. I'm going to do some tests here. I just want to show you, here's an example. Now these, there's two size squares here. I'm thinking some of these are tungsten. I'm also thinking some of these are pure, or not pure silver, but silver alloy, and some are tungsten. I believe most of these are silver alloy. This is just some melt stuff that was in there. These are definitely tungsten, and this is that waffle pattern. You can see a waffle pattern on those. I don't know if it's going to show up good or not. This is my first time with this camera, so, but those are definitely tungsten. So over here, this is all for sure tungsten. Real quickly, I want to show you, I took nippers on these little guys here, and these are silver alloy, and I'm going to show you how I know. Okay, let me see if we can get this to focus. We can see where I nipped it. It did not break, and it's still stuck there. So that is a silver alloy. Another way to tell real quick is this is silver alloy simply because, look, I can bend it with my hands. Tungsten, see, that bends. Tungsten is not going to bend. It will break. In fact, let me see if I can get a little one here that I know is tungsten. See if we can get one to break for you. Okay. This has a waffle pattern on it, this little square guy. So I'm going to take it by a corner, and we're going to pop it. We're just going to, you see how that broke? That is tungsten. That is a heavily coated tungsten contact. This little guy, I'm not sure about. These are like what I call rounds. They're kind of bevel, or they're shaped like this. So I have to go through these and check them to see, you know, which ones are silver, which ones are tungsten. I just separated them by shape. But once again, we have kind of a round here. Now, this being long, like I showed you these guys here, if this is a silver alloy, it should bend, not break. So you see that? So that is silver alloy, definitely. These do not bend or break because I'm not strong enough to bend them or break them. But that is not silver. Okay, these little guys here, smaller ones just like these, same scenario. They do not bend. So they are not pure, or not pure, but they're not silver alloy. I'm not sure about these guys. The same scenario. We'll take one of these, and it broke. So that is definitely a tungsten coated something. Possibly nothing. I didn't find any silver, I don't think, in these. These are definitely tungsten. You can see by the waffle pattern. So we're going to just put all this over in our tungsten pile, and we're going to actually probably start this refine with doing some testing on mainly these things, these bars. I do not know what they are or what they came off of. I've seen them before, and I'm pretty sure I've tested them before. This is an oddball all by itself. That obviously is tungsten. You can see how that really broke hard. I'm not sure about these guys. They look like silver alloy, and they are. So that's a silver alloy. That's silver alloy, and you see how easily it bends? It's not, you know, if it's tungsten, you saw that break over there. See? That one looked just like them, but it is tungsten. See? They look just the same almost. But, so we know that that's tungsten. We know that this is silver. So I'm going to continue on going through this stuff. I'm going to clean up one of these guys. I'm going to clean up one of these guys. And I'm going to put them in some a small little bit of dilute nitric acid. I'm going to see what dissolves off of them. In the meantime, me and my trusty pliers are going to go through the rest of these. These look the same, but they are not. There's two different type of contacts in here. These are, like I said, the rounds, and there's 4 or 5 different types. So I basically just have it a basic separation here. I know I'm not going to waste a lot of time on these because, like I said, I think I've tested them before, but it's very possible that these particular ones may have some silver on top of them. Like right here, just a little thin layer of silver on this metal. They're not magnetic. Nothing's magnetic. So I'm going to just go ahead and clean 2 of those up and get them out there. In the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and bend, and then I'll show you our actual separation between tungsten and silver alloy. We started with almost, I think I said 11 pounds, 10.9 pounds, or whatever it was earlier. We're going to have a lot of deception here as far as yield, because we already know we have a lot of tungsten in here, and these weigh a lot. So, you know, I'll just have to see what happens with them. All right, guys, I'm babbling. I'm gonna start testing these out real quick and bending them and see what I can bend and see what I can't. And we'll get back to you when we have a complete separation. Oh, and these little guys here are almost, I'm not gonna set, they're, you know, the small little round guys. I can tell by just looking through the jar, the majority of these are tungsten. There may be a few solids in here, but I'm not going to waste my time with that. They're just going to get done in a batch. Alright, so we'll get back at you in a little bit. Okay guys, I ran outside real quick just to get this ready. Like I said, I'm going to show you some things. I'm going to spare you the setups and all that, because we went into a lot of detail in our last video. And this one we're just going to do a refine here. We're not going to show every single step. I'll tell you what I've done and what I'm doing. What I have in here is 50 mils of distilled water on each of these. I've got 75 mils of nitric acid. I'm going to add about half. I'm not going to even screw around with messing with stuff. Let's see, so we got to go a little bit more. We are getting an instant reaction. We're going to make it a little less than a little bit less than 50%, or 35% nitric acid. And I'm going to just let these go. I'm not going to mess with them. I'm not going to stay out here with them. We should have plenty of room in here. We're going to see what this does, and I'll see if we had any silver in these. It looks like a possible silver plating or heavy plating on them. So, and these are the ones that would not bend, so they're definitely, and they're very dense, so they're definitely tungsten. All right, guys, I'm going to go back in, finish separating out the rest of those so we can get on with this video. So we'll see you in a bit. Okay guys, as you saw in the time lapses, I was doing two methods just to show you. You can do the bend method or you can use these nippers. What I want to show you here real quick, these are all alloy, okay? There was a few tungstens mixed in, but now I want to show you 4 contacts that are pretty much the same looking, okay? So there they are. Now this one I already bent, and I know that this is a, it's an alloy, but you can see that you can cut right into that. Kind of like checking wheel weights. Okay, now this one, there's no cutting into it. So that's a tungsten. You'll leave a mark on it, but you're not going to cut into it. So we know that's tungsten. And here we have 2 more. Again, tungsten. And they look the same. Now these were all in this same pile. So here's another, and that cut. So that is silver alloy. So we know that these are all silver alloy so far. This is our tungsten over here. I'm going to continue on. In a little bit we'll run back outside and check our test. There's basically enough nitric acid in both of those to dissolve almost an ounce of silver. So we're going to see what's left, and then I'll test the fluid, see if there's any silver chloride in it, which by the looks of it there's going to be a little, but comparatively speaking, these are going to yield, I would venture to say, next to nothing in silver, and we'll weigh this up in a minute. Like I said, I have tested these before, and I believe they're just a light coating of silver, if even that, on a heavy tungsten base. So, 1 or 2% silver by weight is not worth going after, in my book. If you're doing it yourself, yes, but as a refine, or doing it for somebody like I'm doing, like this refine is, it's, if I had extra nitric laying around and it didn't cost me what it cost me, yeah, you could do it. But for the price of nitric acid, the reason let me explain something real quick before we go. The reason I go through the time of checking each one of these and doing each one of these, this is going to take, because of the weight and the alloy, this is going to take a specific amount of nitric acid. Okay, I don't know what it is yet because I haven't weighed it. These are heavier, but they have much less silver. So if I was to just kind of mix up my nitric acid or add my nitric acid according to the weight, I would be way overshooting my wad of nitric acid and wasting a lot of nitric acid if I'm doing these by weight. I mean, that, there's a tremendous difference in weight because of the tungsten. Believe it or not, this little guy, not much, it's lighter, but not much lighter than all of those. So that's the reason for doing this. If you don't care, and you don't care how much money you're going to have tied up in the refine, throw everything together, knock yourself out. I do things separately for a reason. A lot of times the tungsten throws lead or throws something else that is nasty. You have to redo everything. If this throws something it shouldn't throw, and it's mixed in with this, now I have to redo everything. So that's why I push separation. A lot of people don't. They just throw everything in, and that's your prerogative. But when it messes up, it's going to be a heck of a lot harder to clean up, and it's going to take, again, all that acid again to do it. So anyhow, I'm going to continue checking the rest of these, and we'll be back in a little bit. Okay guys, we're back outside real quick. If these guys, even a tungsten contact, would still be active, and I am seeing a couple bubbles going on. They've been out here about an hour. So there's still a couple little tiny bubbles going on in there, but definitely I can tell you that there's not going to be a lot of silver there. These are just about clean. I'm going to turn this other one over, and I'm going to leave them for another hour. And we'll come out and check them again. But I'm telling you, I don't believe, you know, I'm going to take a little bit of that and I'm going to put it in a test, either a little test beaker or a test tube. And we're going to put a little salt water on it. I'm sure we're going to get some silver chloride, but I can tell you right now, I can drop a little bit of silver in there after we do our test. There's a lot of active nitric acid in here, a lot. And we're not going to throw it out. I'm going to filter this off, and we're going to continue to use it to dissolve our other stuff. But these bars are next to nil in silver. So I'm going to give them another hour, and then we'll do a quick little test, and that'll decide what we're going to do with them. So we'll be back. Okay guys, we've got our stuff all separated out and checked. I'm not going to separate them and do them by size. There would just be too many small little batches, but this is all the squares. This is all our rectangles. This is a few big squares we may do. I may pull the big rectangles and do those all together. These are our rounds, or the beveled ones that are silver. This is bending, but it also breaks. This stuff, it's kind of hard, so it may not be a, you know, it does bend, so it's not tungsten. So I'm thinking it's an alloyed silver, but it's, you know, a low alloyed silver. This stuff, this is like a wedge. I don't know what it is, but the end of this is copper, and there's a couple other things I want to show you in here, over here. These are very soft silver, a little bit thinner, so that tells me it's pretty pure, along with this. This from here back and here, right here and here, this is our tungsten. That's our bars that we have out testing right now, and I'm telling you, I don't believe that those are gonna, I'm not gonna even waste my time on them. I don't believe. I don't think we may get a little bit of cloudiness in that acid when we test it, but I don't believe there's that much silver on those. And as far as doing this as a job refine, in all actuality, he would probably end up owing me money on these. In other words, if I did these, the weight of this material versus what we're going to get out of it is not, it's just not worth doing. I mean, it's not, you know, it'll back up. It'll if we throw this in with the tungsten, this is going to back us up, way up. Because this is only, we're going to be lucky to get, you know, 35-40% out of this material right here. If we add this material to it, it's going to drop our percentage way down. That's what I think right now. I'll know as soon as I test it out there. I also wanted to show you one other thing. You're not going to be able to see it because I can't get, you know, I'm getting used to this camera, and as far as the close-up goes, it's not going to work. Or it'll work. I'm just, you know, I got to get used to it. But these two are very similar contacts. There was a few of these, but this contact is literally fused to a sheet of copper. Now you can see it right here. I don't know, I'm going to try and get it up here, maybe where you can see the dividing line. But that is copper. There were several of these, so we're going to lose a little bit of weight there. But they are in this batch here. This is, again, another rectangle that I was showing. And this is a tungsten. I mean, it dented a little bit, so that's a big tungsten that goes over here. These are the half rounds, or not half rounds, but the beveled. And just to show you, I mean, this is kind of obvious. This is a tungsten, this is an alloy. But they're about the same size, but a simple test again. That is alloy, that is tungsten. So they are going to go here and here. So I'm going to get this weighed up in just a second. This is it's just a mix of melted stuff and broken pieces. There could be tungsten in here and regular. I will do that by itself because it's going to be mostly solder. These are alloy, but they are all, you know, just mixed up, just a little bit of oddball stuff. So I'll probably throw this wedge looking thing in here with that. Alright, so that's where we're at right now. I just came in from out there. I said we'd wait about an hour, another hour on testing those bars. So I'm going to start weighing this up, and we'll see what we got. So I'll be back in just a bit. Okay guys, we're back out to check these. It's been about an hour, and there ain't nothing going on in here. Let me see if I can get this little camera set up on something else so we can test this right quick, because I'm going to need both hands. So I'll be right back at you. Okay guys, I got a clean pipette. I'm just going to draw some of this out, and I'm going to put it in this little guy right here. I'll draw out a couple so we can get enough in there to test it. Okay, so get this set so you can see it. So we have our pipette. We'll take some clean water, distilled water. Rinse my pipette, because I'm going to be throwing it out after this, because it actually is going to fixing to go in salt water. So got my salt water here. And well, we got a decent amount of silver in it. I'm going to have to rethink not processing those, because all that solder on them must be silver chloride. But I'm going to take this one back in and weigh it versus one that I haven't done or processed. You know, that looks like a lot of silver, but it's really not a lot of silver. So anyhow, let me clean this one up, this one that I can match to another one. We're going to weigh it, and then we're going to weigh the one that hasn't been processed on a 100th scale, and we're going to see what we get. So I'm going to go back in. Let me get this guy out of here, and we'll go do some weighing. We may process them. It just depends. If it falls below 50%, which I'm pretty sure it's gonna, I'm gonna have to get with him, because I can't process it for 25%. You know, if it falls below 75% pure yield, I have to, you know, if you go to my website and read it, you'll see I have to take another percent, you know, for each, or 0.5% for each time, or each one it falls below 75%. So let's go see if we can do some quick figures on this and see what we get. And then we can also go over our weights in there. So we'll be right back. Okay guys, we're back inside at my desk. This is obviously, it is tungsten. And it's probably most of that silver, which was, it was a little bit more than I expected, I gotta be honest with you. The last time I tested a couple of these, I got zip out of them. So let me get this scale, because this goes to 100th. Get everything out from under it. And I'm going to grab a set it on here so it's flat. Still ain't flat. We need a flat spot. Okay, we got a good flat spot. Let me match two of these up. I gotta look for the one with the hole. If it takes me too long to find one, I'll just cut this out. I don't want to get up and turn that camera off again. Naturally, I'm not going to find the one I need. Okay. Round nose, beveled back, Alright, and this has a tiny hole, so that's good. So there's that one. And we need this one. And there's that one. Alright, so now we're going to take some weights and see if we can get an estimate of just how much silver is on these. Should be, I mean, this is not scientific. It's just a simple test to see the difference. Okay, let's get over to grams. Okay, so the larger one, we have a starting weight, and this is only approximate because there's a different amount of this stuff on each one. So this will give us an idea, but it's not going to be precise. So 36.28 is the start. The end is 31.60. And that's the big one. The little one, starting weight 24.58, 24.58, and the ending weight 21.66. Okay, so there is some silver on them. It might be worth going after. We're going to find out right now. So we need our calculator, which has vanished. Okay guys, I'll be right back. Okay, if the calculator was a snake, it would have bit me. But anyway, alright, let's see what we got here. So we have 31.6, 36, well, come on calculator, 31.6 divided by 36.28 equals 87%. So they are about 13% silver, which is nowhere near what it needs to be for me to do the refine. And this one is 21.66. 24.58 equals 0.88 and 12%. So these by weight have about 12% silver in them. These have about 13% silver in them, so call it anywhere between 10 and 15%. Okay, so this bag should yield 14551. Call it, we'll split it right in the middle. We'll call it by 12.5 times 1451 times 0.125. So 181 grams of silver in there. 181 divided by 31.104. So there's about 6 ounces of silver in here, if this test is fairly accurate. Maybe more, maybe less. Alright, but it's going to take me a lot more material to process that because we're only looking at 13%, and my bare minimum is 75%. So I will contact him and see. This is 75 minus, call it 13, equals 62% difference. So 62 is 31. Yeah, and it's almost backing up. That, remember what I said earlier about it would cost him money for me to do this? If you take 75% and 31%, which would be my additional cost for falling below, we're at 106%. So it's actually, it would actually cost him money for me to do these. Gary, I know you're a regular customer. I'll see if I can work something out with you. I won't take as much. I'm curious now to see what these are going to yield. So if nothing else, I'll just do it out of a curiosity's sake. If you see this before I get a hold of you, how about we go 50-50 on these? That'll give me a little bit of extra to cover my ass and stuff like that. So, but that doesn't mean I will take these next time from anybody. I want everybody to know I can't take them at a 13 or 12%, not even for 50% split, which is still falling below. I might cover my costs on that. So anyway, that's another thing over here on the side. We'll do that, see what he says, see if that's what he wants to do. Because I'm just now, for the sake of a video, I want to see, I'm just curious to see if they yield what we just figured. Okay, so this is what we got. These are our little tungstens. We got 193 grams of those. 93 plus. And then we have our bigger tungstens at 1171 plus 1171 equals, for a total of 1364 grams of tungsten. I'm sorry again about the air conditioner, guys. 1364 tungsten. And then we have, these were our rounded or beveled or whatever you want to call them, and our soft silver. There's 278 grams of those. 278 plus, this was our harder silver, which I'm thinking is just not quite as pure. I think there's more alloy in this. So that we have 175. This is our big squares at 132. This is our oddball mixed up ones, a couple of round ones that wedge with the copper on it, and some other at 68. This is our solder and stuck pieces at 78. Our square mix at 516. And our rectangle mix at 573. So we have a total of 1,820 grams of alloy. Alright. And our alloys usually produce pretty good. These hard guys may take us down a bit. I don't know exactly what those are, so they may take us down a bit. And then we had 1,451 grams of bars, which this stuff, the tungsten should yield 600 gram, 400 to 600 grams, I'm guessing. All this, we already figured at about 6 ounces or 180 grams. This stuff should yield somewhere in the high 80s to low 90%, somewhere in there for this stuff. So we're looking at 1820 times, let's call it 0.85. So we're looking at about 1.5 kilos of silver here. We are looking at about ballpark ½ kilo here, and then, if him and I come to an agreement on this. Alright guys, I'm going to let you go. This has been long enough. I am surprised about these, like I said. I'm shocked. I didn't think that they had that much. The last ones I tested had literally nothing on them. I mean, it cost me an acid to test them. So they are tungsten underneath, but there is a light coating of silver all the way around them, but not enough. So like I said, take a good look at these while they're laid out on the desk. Don't send me that stuff. I mean, I'm like I said, if we'll do it for a 50-50 on this, just for the video and to see how much silver we get on them. but I can't afford to process those and do a split. Alright guys, I'm going to let you go. We'll probably get started on this the end of the week or the first of next week. So we will see you guys in the next video.